Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming at you live to talk about episode 1 of the anime series 2 Car. I really found this to be quite intriguing. I'm not that big of a sports anime fanatic. Those who have been following my reviews over the past couple of seasons may remember I picked up Keijo on a whim, and I picked up Scorching Ping Pong Girls on a whim. I don't overly get into sports-themed series, whether it be swimming or baseball or basketball or anything like that. It's just not always my cup of tea. And so this one actually surprised me. I did have an interest looking at the fall listings for what was going to be coming out. I did have a somewhat of an interest and curiosity in checking this out because it was kind of dealing with, racing, but in a way that I was not really familiar with. I don't even know if this is a genuine thing, if this actually exists, this kind of racing. And but it was something that really sort of, heralded out to me because for those who may not be familiar with the fact, I lost my parents early on in life, but before my mother had passed away, she was actually in training to be a race car driver. And that was all kinds of awesome and insane and scary, all, balled up, rolled up into one, all together, just being everything from exciting to fearsome. And so this takes a really unique sort of, spin on the whole racing sort of aesthetic in that it's like bikes with sidecars, although you don't actually sit on the side. It has a driver and a passenger. The passenger is more so utilized for weight distribution on the rear of the vehicle. And that just, something about that, it almost has a bobsled theme to it in how you have to utilize the weight distribution and where you are positioned on the vehicle. And, this driver and passenger, this team of two has to try to work like a fluidic machine together. They have to know the ins and outs of each other. And of course, we are introduced to a whole cast of characters. I couldn't even begin to list off all the names, even the main two. I didn't bother jotting down notes all the way through it because I didn't know whether or not I was going to be as into it as I was by the end until I got there. But they're having sort of a preliminary race in this first episode that's just kind of an introductory thing for the oncoming racing season. So nobody is actually supposed to necessarily win this one. But of course, our two main characters do, because we see that, through a lot of flashbacks, there's a lot of interspersed flashback stuff going on to do with their coach, and they never show the coach from, the neck up. It was reminding me of the admirals in Kentai Collection, where you never see the admiral, because you're supposed to be the admiral. I almost half wonder if this is based on, some sort of racing game or something, where you're supposed to be, the coach, the team leader, and so that's why they're not showing the coach or whatever like that. But obviously he is, obsessed with racing as well. He's going to go to the Isle of Man and move there and become a racer. I guess it's going to be, not like proper racing, drag racing or automobile racing. It's just this framework of these little sort of bike and passenger sidecar, vehicles, that kind of thing. And they're called kneelers. People who are doing this professionally apparently are called kneelers. And so the whole gist of it just seems intriguing to me. I feel like while I wasn't spectacularly wowed by this first episode, there's enough intrigue and enough promise for this to become interesting, I think, down the line. So I don't know. I'm not going to commit myself to doing episodic reviews and discussions. This might be a top contender, if I talk about it at all, for written reviews over on my Facebook account. It's a personal account. You can feel free to friend me if you're open to that, and we can discuss anime back and forth. I discuss every anime show that I'm not discussing in video format in written reviews over there with thumbnails and everything like that. Screen caps that I take, and wherever I don't feel like doing a video, that's where I talk about anime, and I do it quite frequently. I've been doing it a lot more in the last couple of seasons. So this is a top contender for written coverage, if I cover it at all, if it proves to me to continue to be interesting and such like that. But we shall see. Only time will tell. As far as first impressions goes, I wanted to bring this video to you guys to let you know that I think this is an intriguing concept. I've never seen racing done quite like this before, and while I'm not that into the sports anime, sort of genre, this because of the uniqueness of how they're approaching it, it could be that much more interesting. Of course, I'm already fearful of the telegraphed, our two main girls are going to win in the end and all that kind of stuff. They're going to achieve their dreams. I hope there are genuine obstacles and hurdles for them to overcome. We already know that the first one, right out of the gate, no racing pun intended, is that they don't get along. They knocked each other out after they won this race, this preliminary race, which wasn't even about anyone winning or losing. So they both decked each other. And I got the biggest laugh out of that. So it'll be interesting to see how this continues on. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below if you're going to be watching this one, if you're intrigued by it, if it's a complete and utter pass for you. Let me know what you think of it and such like that. Our POVs can certainly disagree. And if you don't find this interesting at all, I'd love to hear why. So yeah, otherwise it'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.